no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, hit that big red button that says subscribe because we cover the latest news and rumors. Producer Sam's doing this. Do it. Just do it. Subscribe so you never miss a thing. I'm amped up here. Why? I love the Raiders, and I love doing this show. And when you guys subscribe, it helps me be able to continue to do this show 100% free. We're going to be continuing to do this show for free for the next 365 days. All right, the first thing that we're going to bring up here is the Raiders not using the franchise tag. How many Chucky heads is this one? This one's 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. There's just not a single player that makes any kind of sense whatsoever for the Raiders to throw a franchise tag at. I mean, I'm sorry. So ESPN wrote an article about predicting which players are going to be franchise tagged by their certain teams, right? The Raiders weren't in that article, and good. They shouldn't be. So the franchise tag window is starting on February 23rd, so Tuesday, to March 9th at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So basically an NFL team has to decide in that time frame whether or not they're going to franchise tag a guy, right? And most NFL teams, they're basically going to wait until like March 9th, right? Because that's just the way it goes. But this is the other thing. Like, I've seen articles out there that the Raiders should franchise tag certain players. The most common one is Nelson Aguilar. And I just can't even believe that somebody would actually think that that makes any kind of sense whatsoever. You don't have to do it. So, therefore, you don't need to do it. So, therefore, the Raiders are not going to use their franchise tag. And don't panic, because guess what? It's okay. It just means that it just doesn't make sense, y'all. So, Raiders not franchise tagging, that doesn't make sense. What does make sense is getting started with our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Now, how do you get set up here with this awesome deal? You got to go to chatsports.com/Raiders. Why should somebody do it in the offseason? Well, you can bet on the NBA. You can bet on college basketball, which is coming up March Madness. Literally any sporting event. You like UFC, you can do that. Baseball's right around the corner, and you can also bet on things like, I don't know, the Raiders winning the Super Bowl. NFL MVP odds, the AFC East, the AFC West. All you got to do is go to chatsports.com/Raiders. Promo code Raiders125. You get 125% deposit bonus. And I'm just going to say this right now. If you watch till the end of this video, I got something special for you. All right, let's go to the next story here. Gilmore linked to the Raiders. Okay, Stephon Gilmore. Has he been linked to the Las Vegas Raiders? This one. How many Chucky heads? Okay, we're pushing it. 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. So there's been multiple reports out there and multiple articles from people that I actually do trust linking Stephon Gilmore potentially to the Raiders. Now, does that mean it's going to happen? Find out here in a little bit. But it's just simply saying that if the New England Patriots were to actually trade him, where could he potentially go, right? So for the Raiders, you're looking for an alpha in the secondary. Stephon Gilmore can do that. Also, he was the 2019 Defensive Player of the Year, which is going to make a lot of people interested in him. So the article that I went out and found was around the top teams that could be potentially linked to Gilmore if he is moved in a trade. The 3 teams that were linked were the Indianapolis Colts, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Las Vegas Raiders. The reason why it makes a lot of sense for the Colts is because they got some other players who could hit free agency, and they're a team that is trying to win now. The San Francisco 49ers, I mean, if you could replace a player like Stephon Gilmore, or replace Richard Sherman for Stephon Gilmore, you would do that. And for the Raiders, I know they want Damon Arnett to step up, but if you could have Gilmore and Trayvon Mullen, it's definitely something that you need to think about. So go down in the comments section and let me know here. Should the Raiders trade for Gilmore? I want you to type T for trade, or I want you to type D for don't. We got 900 people watching this live show now. A lot of T's coming in, which doesn't really surprise me, but T for trade, D for don't. After this YouTube ad break, I'm going to give you my answer. I'm typing T for trade. Yes, you try to trade for Stephon Gilmore. Anytime that you can get an elite player at a position that you need to at least look into it. Now, some people are going to be like, oh, man, he's coming off a bad injury, and in 2020 he wasn't that good. You know what? You're right. He's coming off a pretty wicked injury where his thigh, he basically ripped his thigh muscle, and he missed a large majority of the season. I believe he only played in 11 games. 37 tackles, 1 INT, 3 pass breakups. The issue is this. I've seen Stephon Gilmore long enough to know when that dude's healthy, he's one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League. I'm going to take a bet and say that he's going to work his tail off. He's going to come back at 31 years old, and he's going to be great. I mean, look at these numbers in 2019. 53 tackles, 20 pass breakups, 6 INTs, 2 forced fumbles. Oh, yeah, he also had 2 touchdowns. But what about his 2019 coverage stats? This man was targeted 96 times, allowed to catch less than 50% of the time and gave up 625 yards and, oh yeah, no touchdowns. If you can add this guy, he's only going to teach a guy like Arnett, and he's only going to teach a guy like Trayvon Mullen. Now, another reason why I'm definitely saying, hey, you can go out and do it is because if the Patriots end up trading Stephon Gilmore, they actually got to eat a lot of his contract. So, therefore, the Raiders would only owe Gilmore $7 million in 2021. That's kind of where the issue is, because does New England actually eat a little over $8 million just to let him go, or do they end up paying him $15 million? Like, that's the real conversation here. If they're actually trying to move on some money and try to find a quarterback, it's something to think about, right? So, I mean, imagine this right here. I like Mullen a lot. I'm hoping Arnett can step up. But if you could put Stephon Gilmore there and you can allow Damon Arnett to learn a little bit longer, because, let's be real, he still needs to be able to learn and needs to be able to work harder. Plus, maybe it'll motivate some of these young guys. I definitely thought that was one thing that the Raiders definitely lacked, a true alpha. Speaking of alpha, when we talk about the word alpha in the secondary, the player that always gets brought up, it's Richard Sherman. So this is what I want you guys to think about here, okay? If you could only pick one, because guess what? I really only think you can pick one. What would you do? Would you trade for Stephon Gilmore? I want you to type G. Or would you just go out and sign Richard Sherman, type S? Now remember, you're probably going to have to give up some draft capital, obviously, to go get Gilmore. And then you're probably going to have to pay him his base salary, which is $7 million. Or do you go out and sign Richard Sherman for probably like $8, $9 million a year? So type G for Gilmore or type S for Sherman. All right, let's continue the story here about potentially getting Stephon Gilmore. I'm going to give it only one Chucky head. I get that he's linked to the team. That does not mean that it's ultimately going to happen. Now, the Patriots, they've been trying to move on for Gilmore for whatever reason. They were trying to do it at the trade deadline. Couldn't happen because he wasn't healthy. And according to the latest report here from Jeff Ho of The Athletic, the Patriots have been aggressively pursuing the quarterback trade market, okay? Read, Mitch. So the fact that they've been aggressively looking to find a quarterback, guess what? The Raiders have a quarterback that's also been coming with a lot of reports. And when you look at a lot of the teams, well, I'll say when you look at a lot of the reports about who's interested in Mariota, the top team that continues to come up from guys like Field Yates, from Nesson, from multiple other New England outlets, it's Marcus Mariota. So what I tried to do here is throw together a trade idea. So let me know what you all think of this. The Raiders, they received Stephon Gilmore and a 2021 6th-round pick. The Patriots received Marcus Mariota and a 2021 3rd-round pick. So right now, New England, they don't have a 3rd-round pick. The Raiders can give them their 3rd-round pick. They're all happy. The Raiders, they don't have a 6th-round pick because they lost it due to COVID violations. And the Patriots have 2 6th-round picks. So let me know in the comments section who wins this trade. Type R for the Raiders, type P for the Patriots. I am genuinely very, very curious to see where you guys shape out on this one, because if the Raiders can get Gilmore, he's going to start. A 2021 6th-round pick, you get that back. Sure, you are giving up a 3rd-round pick in Marcus Mariota. However, you're probably just going to end up moving on from Mariota anyway. So I'm right now in the live chat. I'm seeing a lot of comments come in here, and I'm glad a lot of people are typing R because it's actually not even close to me. The Raiders absolutely win this trade. So if you're not typing R, I don't know what else you're looking for. If you're looking for more Raiders analysis, or if you just want to talk to me, hey, hit me up on IG. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. I actually went live this past weekend and was able to talk to you all over my birthday weekend, which was a hell of a lot of fun. I got a lot of DMs to get to. I promise I will get to them. I answer about 100 to 150 DMs every single day, so be patient with me. But if you do want more Raiders analysis, more my opinion, or if you just want to talk to me, hit me up on IG, Mitchell Renz 365. All right, let's go to this next story here. Raiders targeting Chidobe Awuzie, cornerback from the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to give this one 3 Chucky heads that I think it's pretty likely. Not that it's pretty likely that they sign him, but they are going to look at Chidobe and at least be like, could this be a player that we bring in? Could this guy be a player that Gus Bradley believes in? So I saw an article out there from Raiders Wire. Marcus Mosher, who I actually think does pretty good work, said that Awuzie is definitely a player to look at. Why? His former DC Rod Marinelli and special teams coach Rich Bisaccia, they're already on the staff. That's one point, right? And we've already seen the Raiders go out and look for other Cowboys players because they're like, okay, maybe they can master the system. Well, how about this? Chidobe also has experience playing in the cover 3 system. Why? Remember, Chris Richard, who has also worked with Gus Bradley, was a coach for the Cowboys 2017-2018. That's when Chidobe started to get some work. Now, last year, in 8 games, battled some injuries. When he was on the football field, I thought played okay. He's only 25 years old, had 38 tackles, 5 pass breakups, an interception, and a forced fumble. The issue is this. It depends what the Raiders are ultimately going to do, we'll say, on every single type of snap here, right? So he's a lot better in zone coverage. There's just no doubt about that, in my opinion. He struggles in man, but let's just say you do end up bringing him in, all right? The reason why I like this, at least as an idea, if you want to go out and sign a big-name cornerback, you could potentially do that. If you're telling me I got to pay Chidobe top cornerback type of money, sorry, I'm just not going to do that. However, if you want to be able to put him out in an outside cornerback position, that's something to look into. But also, he could probably play a little bit in the nickel. He could play in the slot as well. Is it the most ideal situation? No. But if you're looking for a player who knows your system, who also knows the coaches, it's definitely something to look at, and it's something the Raiders are going to look at. So what I want you all to do right now, if I should make a top free agent cornerbacks to sign video, I want you to spam CB. So we make all sorts of videos here, right? Like, obviously, we cover news and rumors, no doubt about it. We've done videos around draft targets. We've done videos around free agency targets. So if you want me to make a video around top cornerbacks to sign in free agency, I want you to type CB. The reason why I ask is because I've already put out a video, the top 10 free agent safeties. Why? One of the biggest Raiders needs is finding a safety. So here I rank the top 10. How about this video that I put out on Monday? The top 10 free agent defensive tackles the Raiders could sign. The bottom line is this. We try to think of new and fun creative ideas. That's what the show's about here. So if you want me to make a video about the top 10 free agent cornerbacks the Raiders should sign, and maybe even some that they should avoid, I want you to go down in the comments section and start spamming CB. That way I can tell my bosses this is something that Raider Nation wants. Now, if y'all made it this far in the video, I appreciate you guys a lot, and I got something special for you. So for the people that have signed up with BetUS using chatsports.com/Raiders but have never deposited, I'm going to hook you up with a special offer, okay? So listen up here. So this is an offer so you can try out sports betting risk-free. Email me, raiders@chatsports.com. I'll be able to check out the email. We'll get you guys some details here. And then we'll have to verify that you previously signed up with chatsports.com/Raiders. But bottom line is this. I appreciate people that support me, support our sponsors, and make it this far in the video. So if you've gotten started and signed up and created an account at BetUS but haven't deposited yet, email me, raiders@chatsports.com. I'm going to hook you guys up with something awesome.